Welcome into this video. I would like to give you an overview of Acumatica ERP. Basically, Acumatica is a cloud ERP which is powered by SQL as the engine which powers the Acumatica Cloud ERP. So that means that the data which is saved at the Acumatica, the data is always saved since it is saved at the cloud. So Acumatica basically usually do 2 releases per year, which is release 1 and release 2. Technically, as per now, when you start using Acumatica, you should realize the Acumatica version of the ERP which you are using. As technically today, I'm using 2025 R2, but previously we had 2025 R1, but currently now we are having Acumatica 2026 release 1, which is integrated with AI. So first thing first, right now I'm using a localhost environment where I have preloaded some sales datasets which I will use in this demonstration and give you the overview of Acumatica. So first thing first, you need to sign in. I'm signing in as an admin, but you need to sign in using your login credential. So this is an unproduction instance. So let me sign in as an admin. So when I sign in as an admin, I'll be taken into this interface when you sign in into Acumatica. So this interface contains the configuration of the Acumatica. You can see we have the companies which are here. These companies have been created as branches. So you can see that we have 3 companies which contain 4 branches. So in order to be able to visualize this, you can notice that these 3 companies, the capital, the product, and the service. Where under the product, we have the product retail, the product wholesale, and under the service, we have the service west and service east. So to see this configuration clearly, you can come to where we have more and come to where we have configuration. And then you can come to where we have organization and select companies. When you get into this interface, you can be able to see the configuration of the company. You can be able to see the first company is Capital. So the name of the company is Division 2 Capital. So this company does not contain any branches, as you can see here. Also, what you need to notice in this company is the base currency. So you can notice that the base currency of this company is US dollars. So you can come here and see the delivery settings, the employee of these companies, the ledgers, the general ledger account, and also the visual appearance. So this visual appearance is the logo, which is in the production instance, it will be the logo of your company, which usually appear in your report. That is the invoice reports and also any other report which you run in Acumatica. So this is the logo which you will be pre-populating. Basically, you can also be able to hard code this logo, but it's technically get derived by the report which we created as the report designer from this section. So you can also view the group of the company. Also, we can visualize the second company, which contain branches which require balancing, which means that these branches are not autonomous but depend on the parent company in order to consolidate the account. So you can be able to see that these are branches which technically require balancing. Second thing, we also have the third company, which is the service company. Also, this is contain branches that do not require balancing. It means that these companies these branches are autonomous or they are independent and they can be able to maintain the financial statement and consolidate, and they don't need the consolidation to be done in the parent company. So the first thing first, you need to notice that the base currency of this company is US dollars. This is what technically is important here. You can also be able to visualize these branches, the employees of this company, the ledgers, and also the 1099 settings, and also the visuals and the company group. Then first thing first, I wanted to just give you an overview of what you expect here. So in some scenario, companies can be configured as branches, or they can also be configured as tenants. So different tenants can visualize different company or can represent different company which shares the same instance and also shares the same database. So first thing first, when you get into Acumatica, we usually have something we call menu items, which are here. So these are different modules which you can subscribe to based on your need and your preference. So in case you don't need something, or you in your operation of your company you don't need some modules, you can easily drop them using the enable and disable feature. So we have something we call enable and disable feature. So you can be able to you can request Acumatica in case you are using the production instance, since the cost of the license change or increase based on the modules which you have, and drop some modules which you rarely use. Like you can drop the case management module, the payroll module in case you don't use the payroll module and you use other modules. So you can be able to drop them very easily using the enable and disable mode. Also, at Acumatica, we usually have different module and different option. The first option which we have here is the data view. So under the data view, these are just generic inquiries which can help you to draw some insight about your business from the database. Like you can see how you can be able to visualize customers who have credit on hold, and set customers, and so on and so forth, open sales orders. So these are just GI which try to draw data from the database. You can also be able to do the inventory planning, where you can be able to make some forecast, regenerate the inventory planning. So we have all these options here, and some inquiry and reports which you can be able to run in this section. You can also be able to do time and expense management, where you can be able to manage your tasks, emails, time and tracking, expenses, inquiry, and you can be able to run several reports here. So at the finance, this is where a lot of our work are usually divided, because this is where you can run some balance sheet, some P&L, and also you can be able to set up some general ledger preferences. But this being an overview, so these are all the items which relate to the finance side. So under the banking, you get all the items which relate to the banking. At the payable, this is where you can be able to do transaction regarding bills and adjustment, checks and payment. So we get at the receivables. This is where in most cases you usually create your invoice and memo, apply payment and application, and so on and so forth. Then you can be able to create the customers who are your customers, being a company. Then you can be able to get in where we have sales order, where you can be able to do all the activities relating to the sales order. So you can come to where we have purchases, where you can be able to do some transaction like request, requisition, purchase order, purchase receipt, and also to make transaction regarding the added cost. You can get to where we have inventory, where you can be able to receive inventory, issue adjustment, keys, also create stocks item and non-stock items, also do warehouse management. This is where a lot of warehouse management usually take place. At a dashboard, these are just dashboards which try to give you an visual insight of what is happening in your company. Like here we have the account receivable crack dashboards. So these dashboards, they try to bring the ERP to life, where just by a click of the ERP, you can be able to visualize what is technically happening in your business. So it makes the ERP more interactive and more user friendly. Like you can see here, you can be able to visualize the document or hold and release document on release, rejected, payment up to apply, customer on credit, and so on and so forth. You can be able to see different graphs here, some bar charts, some bar chart, and some historical graphs here, some curves which you can be able to study the trend. So then at the more, here you can be able also to run your project, to manage your project, manage your fixed asset, manage your currency, also do the tax, and also manage your taxes very easily, where you can do tax adjustment. You can set up beautiful tax periods and tax category. Also, you can be able to do contract management. You can be able to do deferred revenue. So under the operation, this is where you can be able to do this is a multi-diversity ERP, where you can be able to run marketing opportunity support, general support to your client payrolls. You can also be able to do some configuration, because Acumatica is an open ERP, where you can be able to add customization, like linking your ERP with the bank, also with the tax APIs or the revenue authority APIs, what we'll be doing in most cases in these videos. So by integrating your ERP with the revenue authority, also doing some configuration integration, you can also be able to set user security, where you can give different users different access right in the system. You can also be able to run the low level security and also the system management, how you can be able to monitor the health of your system. So this is what basically Acumatica entails in an overview and in layman's language. So in case you have any query regarding Acumatica, you can reach me using the contact in the description, and also using my email. We can have a WhatsApp call, or also a direct call, or an email conversation. that we can have deep discussion regarding Acumatica. So basically, thank you for watching, and have a nice day ahead.